y'all, welcome back to my channel. So the video today, I haven't done this in a long time, but we're doing a 24-hour reading vlog. I've done 3, and usually, like in the past, I either could only go to a certain amount of books because I didn't have extras, or I just stopped because I made it to like 12 or like 13 hours of reading. So I do have an excess amount of books. So we're gonna try to keep going for 24 hours. I don't know, we'll see. The reason I'm also doing this is I'm really close to my goal of reading 200 books this year. I'm currently at 154 books. And I did the math that if I can read between 16 and like 22 for the rest of the year for those months, then I'll reach my goal of 200 books. It's definitely doable because last month I read 25 books, which is insane. I know. I used this clock and I set it for 24 hours, and then when I'm reading, the clock is on, and when I'm not reading, I stop the clock. So that's kind of how this goes. I also usually do like an hour check-in, so I read for an hour, do a check-in on the book where I'm at, and that's how we go. I have a few books stacked up here that I want to read today, and then after that, I don't know. So we have Assistant to the Villain. I want to read this one. I hear it's good. It's like kind of fantasy fiction with a little bit of romance in there. It's also going to be the start of a series, and it says villain. We're in the spooky season, Halloween, so we're going to read it. Yeah, that's all I really know about that one. Then I have You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Byron. I've read a lot of books by her. Love her. So we're definitely reading this one. And it takes place at a camp. That's spooky in itself. Then we have The Troop by Nick Cutter. I'm reading this one because my book club, this is the book we're reading for the month of October. And we meet actually on Halloween to discuss the book. So I need to read this book. I want to read The Maddest Obsession by Danielle Laurie, but this is book 2 in a series. There's currently 3 books out. A 4th one is supposed to come out, and it's going to be the conclusion. But I don't know if they can be read out of order. Books 1 and 3 have not arrived yet. They're still on their way, so I'll have to see if they can be read out of order. I typically don't like to, but we'll see. That's on the list. And then I've shown all 3 of these on my channel before. They were in the same haul, but these all have something to do with thriller, suspense, and mystery. So good enough for the spooky vibes. And that was what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's already 7 books that I have planned. But I do want to start with You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Byron. This is what we're starting with. It's a light read. It's only 200 something pages. It's like 228, so that's a good starting point. And I think I'm gonna start reading outside because it's kind of cool right now. I'm gonna read outside before the sun comes, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set up outside and then start, and it's 11:36 right now. I just wanted to show y'all my little outside setup, and this is a candle that keeps the bugs away. Got my water, my iPad for the timer. This is the bookmark we're using. And yeah, as you can see, it's nice and shady on both sides, but I'm just gonna sit on this side for however long. I'm doing my hour check-in, and we're almost finished, honestly. I am on chapter 12, page 173, and a reminder, it has 128 pages. in this book. So it started to pick up around like 90 to 100. That's when the action really started. So our main character, her name, let me make sure it's right, Charity is the main character, and she works at this summer camp where they do kind of like a horror vibe. It's based on a movie, and she plays the final girl. So she's out there working, they're running the thing, it's supposed to play like the movie, and then a few of her co-workers, like, they don't show up to do their jobs. So she ends up calling her friends because they still have like people coming for this experience, and she gets 3 of her friends to come. So now it's her girlfriend, and then 2 friends, and then they already had 2 other workers that were still there. Boss calls and just like, cancel this final tour, we're not doing it anymore, shut down. They stay at the summer camp, but then things start getting a little shady. There's actual people going missing. Girl. Okay, if I can stop this timer. So it was like an hour and maybe 15 minutes or so, but I finished her, the final girl. Oh my god. Okay, so they have like this twist of who actually leads Charity to the summer camp, which it made sense, but I didn't see it coming. But then there was someone else who came up on the scene, and I was like, I knew when I came on the scene, I was like, bad news, it's shady, something's about to go down. And then the epilogue, mind you, takes place a year later. I'm not going to tell you who's in the epilogue, but it takes place a year later, and honestly, that was the bust down. It eats down, but the final girl, that's it. This was a very good starting point. I really enjoyed this. I love Caitlin Byron. This is my 4th book that I've read by her. So I think this was a good little spooky introduction, a starter. And I would say go get this and read this one. It was good. It was like a quick read. It doesn't take long. Yeah, it was a vibe. So it's 103. And I think the next book, I want to read Assistant to the Villain, and I'm going to stay outside. It's still like nice weather for me. So I'm going to get Assistant to the Villain, and we're going to keep rolling. It's been an hour. Hopefully y'all can see the sun is coming out. It's getting hot. We're about to move inside. But here we are for Assistant to the Villain. I am on chapter 18, page 123. So Evie she's our main character, Evie, and the villain. She kind of stumbles upon the villain one night, and they're running from someone. And then he offers her a job, because at this point she was kind of upset because she had just lost her job, and like she needs her job because she has a younger sister and then her father. So when he offers her the job, she's like, as long as I don't have to like kill anybody, like I don't really want to do that, because since he's like the villain, she only knows bad things about him. And he's like, I assure you, like, you're not gonna have to do that. So she becomes the assistant to the villain, and she works in his manor. There's different like ogres, magical characters, and then he has like the villain has other interns as well. We meet the villain's brother and then the sister, and we also know that Evie has a crush on her boss, the villain, that she likes him. So yeah, that's kind of all we have right now. Ooh. But they're trying to figure out who this mysterious enemy is and how he comes into play. But I'm about to move inside because the sun is coming. This little bit of shade I have left, it's about to be gone. And I think I'm also gonna do lunch. It's like a little bit after 2, so I'm gonna go get some lunch and then I'll resume later and probably read inside for the rest of the day, depending on how hot it is, because it's gonna be hot for the next couple hours. So yeah. Is 4:21. I just finished reading Assistant to Villain. So we ended on a cliffhanger. So ready for book 2. When the traitor was like revealed, everything started fast tracking at the end of the book. So I really enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to the second one. And honestly, Evie kind of has like a growth, just becoming stronger and more aware of herself. Good for her. So this was a nice little read. And we're gonna be moving on to the Black Queen. I've been excited to read this one. Kind of gives me vibes of The Weight of the Blood, which I've read earlier on this year. But yeah, she's the next read. This was shown on a haul on my channel. And we're gonna keep going. It's almost 4:30. Alright, we're doing the hour check-in. Here we are. I made a good little dent in it, so I'm on page 143 and chapter 13. So right now we're at the point of the book where Nova has been murdered and Tinsley is trying to clear her name. So to catch y'all up on this, which that's not a spoiler because it said when you read the little description. So Nova is the first Black homecoming queen at Lovett High. But Tinsley's family, like her grandma, her mother, and her sister have all been homecoming queens. So she wants to be homecoming queen. And she tries to threaten Nova and all this to get her to drop out. Nova does not back down from her and gets elected, like she wins homecoming queen. Now, the book is told through Tinsley's point of view and Duchess's point of view. Duchess is Nova's best friend. But honestly, I don't think she did it because it would be too obvious if Tinsley was the one who murdered Nova. But I mean, there's some real tension. Okay. It is 7:09. I just finished reading. Like, y'all have to tap into this book. This one was so good. So honestly, when you find out who actually did it, like I said, it wasn't gonna be Tinsley because that was too easy. But when you find out who actually did do it, it makes so much sense. And you know what? There's so many hints and stuff in the beginning of the book. Like, if you're for real looking for it, you'll know. Good stuff right here. This is a good vibe. Yeah, we're here for it. And also it takes place, I didn't say this, but it takes place in Mississippi. So that was cool to read about. I'm not sure what the next book we're gonna read is, but I do know I want to take like a short break before I jump into reading again. I mean, I've only read 3 books, but I haven't been reading for that long. It's been maybe 7.5 to 8 hours of reading, maybe. I think that's where we are. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little break and then probably read a book, do the check-in, and maybe eat dinner after, because it's 7:11 now. So yeah. It's 8:30. We're doing our hour check-in. I decided to read Cruel Seduction. It's part of the Dark Olympus series. It's book 5. Hold on, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's book 5, and I'm pretty sure they're either going to 6 or they're going to 7. So I am on chapter 12, page 113. So this one, we have multiple main characters. So it's focusing on Aphrodite and Hephaestus. Those are our main people. But Aphrodite used to have some type of relationship with Adonis, but he knew that she could never marry him. And then Hephaestus has like a close friendship with Pandora. Like they grew up together. They tried to date each other. That didn't work out. So they're like really close friends. But a marriage of convenience type thing. You have to read the other books in the series because it's a plot going on. It's a lot going on right now. But also what I like about this, they had a Muse watch, and it's basically kind of, well, it's like their news, but also it gives you glimpses of what happened in the previous book, so it catches you up, which I think is a really good refresher. So you know where you kind of stand, where you are, because you do have to read the books in order to know what's happening, because they all carry on from the previous book. I just finished, it's 10:55. Finished Cruel Seduction, and then it has bonus content, so it gave me a sneak peek into the next book, which all I know for sure is that Eurydice is one of the main characters. There were a lot of other names, but I'm not sure if they're supposed to be with her or not. But going back to this one, there was a lot of drama going on. It was so many switching and swapping with the different people, and then along with Hephaestus and Aphrodite being like a marriage of convenience, they were also on like opposite ends, so it's just a lot of chaos. But I did really enjoy this book. It was nice to visit Dark Olympus again. And I didn't say this, but the Dark Olympus is Olympus but in a modern world. But yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to the next one, which she said it was called, hold on, Midnight something. Camera keeps moving, but Midnight Ruin is the next book in this series, and I will be reading She is Haunting next. It's going on 11, so I think I'm gonna take a shower to kind of wake myself up a bit, because I have this momentum. We're going on to book 5, and we've been reading, I don't even know for how long now, you guys. It's been a long time, but we're moving on to this one. Next, we're getting back into the spooky and the mystery vibes. It's 1:21 a.m. I had to get me some coffee because the shower wasn't holding me down. We have finished yet again another book. That makes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is book 5. I forgot to do the check-in because there's just so much that goes on in this book. The main character is Jade. She and her sister go to Vietnam with her father because they have some deal that where if she goes to stay with her father for 6 weeks, he's gonna give her the money she needs to go to school. Girl, I can't speak, to go to college. But one, her father is acting strange, and the house that her and her sister and her father are staying in, it's weird and it's suspect. It's low-key haunted, and there's a lot. So like in here, you kind of learn about the father's history and why he's so connected to the house. It was just a lot. It was a lot happening, but it was good. It was my first introduction to this author. Yeah, I had to push through to read this though, because I was getting a little tired. And you know what? With my clock, I haven't even been reading for 12 hours, which is kind of insane. So I'm gonna try to continue to read. So I've chosen A House of Marion as the next book to read. Now, this book is the thickest of all. It's close to like 400 pages. I don't know if we're finishing that all right now, because at some point I'm gonna go to sleep. But we'll see. We're gonna start this one and see where I get. Yeah, because I'm getting tired, but I'm trying to stay strong and keep reading. Considering how tired I am, I actually put a good dent in the book. So here we are. I've been reading for like an hour and like 15 or 20 minutes. But I'm getting ready to go to bed, which is why we're doing this little check-in. So I'm on page 199, chapter 23. Also, y'all, this book takes place in New Orleans. Love that. Also, look how pretty the book is. Gorgeous. But our main character is Quell, and she's been on the run her entire life until one day she has to get separated from her mom and then run to her grandma's estate. Now, this book deals with like magic and elements and things like that. So they have different houses. House of Marion, which she's from, Quell. And then there's different things you can practice. So there's shifters, curators, it's a whole bunch of things. So Quell is kind of new to this. Her magic has been dormant and now she's trying to find her way, but she's determined and she's with her grandma. But honestly, her grandma is low-key a little shady. I'm getting mixed vibes from her. And then she also has something going on with her mentor, Jordan. But I don't know, he and her, it's a little complicated thing they have going on. There's definitely something there. But we're going to leave it at that so I can go to bed. It is 2:39 in the morning. I will pick up later. Yeah, we are continuing this. It is 1:03 p.m. I have finally finished. So I've been reading over 12 hours. I finally finished House of Marion. Now this was some good stuff right here. It ended on a cliffhanger. This is the start of a series. I'm not sure how many books are supposed to be in the series, but I know the second book has been confirmed. I was right about the grandma. She's very shady, very sketchy, gave off terrible vibes. She's got her own issues. We never really saw Quell's mom again, so that's a problem in itself. This has romance in it, but it's very, very, very slow burn romance, but it's a faster slow burn romance than Assistant to the Villain. But then you have to question, is it really romance or is it something else? And then there was also like this little twist at the end of the book when someone's true identity is revealed. You don't really see coming, but I guess there were signs. I just didn't see them. All in all, I really enjoyed this book. It has some twisted family secrets and drama all in there. Magical, the order, all that jazz. Good stuff. So we're going back to the mystery thriller suspense, and I'm going to read The Troop by Nick Cutter because, as I mentioned earlier, this is for my book club. And this one has around like 350 something pages. 358 pages. So we're gonna keep it pushing and keep reading. Apologizing now if y'all hear other sounds. I'm doing laundry, but it is 2:47. It's almost 3 o'clock. So I've finished The Troop. Not my cup of tea, to be honest. Very detailed, very gory, giving very much horror. I'm not that much a fan of horror. Yeah. So that was something in itself. I did end up like having to take breaks while reading this because it was just a little bit too much. It was very graphic. Yeah. Oh, but also in this edition, you get a sneak peek into another one of his books. Nick primarily writes horror, so I probably won't visit back there because I don't really like horror. But for those of you that do, this would be something you're interested in. But it takes place with this teenage troop that goes out with their troop master on this kind of island thing. And some weird stuff starts happening. People go missing. It's a lot. So, but while I was taking my breaks, all of my books came in for this series. I remember showing y'all the second one. Book 1 and 3 got here. and I was tempted to take a break and start this, but I knew if I started this series, I would want to finish it and probably not get back to that one. So I finished that book, and now I'm going to start this series. So I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we still have these 3 plus another one that I said I wanted to read today. So we'll see what's happening. And these are all mafia dark romances. So I'm gonna start these and get back to y'all at some point. Okay, it's 3:48, it's almost 4 o'clock. We stopped the timer. It's actually wild to see there's only like 9.5 hours left, but we made a dent in here. We're on chapter 18, page 121. I'm enjoying this so far. So it's really focusing on Elena and Nico, which Nico is her sister's fiance, but he doesn't want to marry her sister and the sister doesn't want to get married to him. So she's starting to have like conflicting feelings with him right now, but that's all where we're at. He's kind of hiding his feelings, but Nona knows what's going on, and I'm here with Nona. I agree with Nona, and I'm ready for it to pick up a little bit more, but that's what we have. I am though about to eat something. I have to switch out my laundry because that stopped while I was reading, and then I'll pick back up with this book. It's been a while since I checked in with y'all, but here's our timer. I actually finished this one, and I'm currently reading this one. So we're on chapter 11, page 123. Right now, both of the main characters are kind of getting on my nerves. We're hoping for character development because it's not giving right now. But both of these characters that this book focuses on are introduced in this one, and then this one is told from the past at first, and then you're thrown into the present. So, which I've been waiting to get to the present because I wasn't rocking with the past. Working back on this one. This one is my favorite in the series so far. Obviously because Elena and Nico were the main characters, they got together, but it was like trials and tribulations to get there. So we started off really good with this series, and then I'm hoping to like the main characters, Gianna and Christian, a little bit more as the book carries on, and then move on to book 3, and that may or may not be the last one because we got like 7 hours left on the clock. So, and it's 7:13 p.m. All right, we just finished yet again another book. That makes 9 books. We got 6 hours left on the clock. She's now finished, and we're getting ready to start the 3rd book in the series. I started to like Gianna and Christian a little bit more, but they still had their moments. What I did really like about this book is the epilogue, because the first one didn't have one, and I felt like it ended kind of abruptly. But this one, the epilogue was cute. I do wish we got a couple more pages of it, but it will suffice. We finished yet again another book. And I still have 6 hours on the clock. I know for a fact this isn't going to take me 6 hours to read. So I possibly might read something after, but we'll see. We'll see how much this takes, because this one has 398 pages, so almost 400 pages. We'll see. And it's 8:30. I'm still cooking with gas. It's 11:47. I did take a shower and I washed my hair, which also gave me motivation because now I have to stay up so my hair can dry. But we finished book number 10. Here's our timer. I think this is my least favorite in the series so far. I think book 1 takes the cake. It was definitely giving Stockholm Syndrome a bit, and then deep-rooted family issues. The guy, the main character in this book, is actually Christian's brother from book 2. And, you know, he has his own issues. And Mila, the female main character, a little bit naive. Like, homegirl was just hanging out with strangers as soon as she gets to Moscow. I don't understand. Like, you're putting yourself in danger, honestly. And I mean, happily ever after for them, but they had some issues. We finished another book. We're moving on to the last book, book 11. Even if I don't finish this book, it's a new record for me of reading 10 books in 24 hours. This book has 399 pages, so basically 400. Can we finish this? I don't know, but we're going to try. I mean, I'm still up, I'm still vibing, so let's see if we can do it. The book is finished, and I actually still have like 2 hours left on the clock. We finished her. This one was really good. It kept me guessing. So basically going through this whole book, you're trying to figure out who murdered Brooke Donovan. And the team that does it is Iris and Alice, which Alice has her own situation where she goes missing for like some time during the summer. And Iris becomes Alice's tutor, and that's how they form their connection. Then Alice and Iris start to work together to figure out who killed Brooke. And honestly, I didn't even see it coming on who killed Brooke, which I think that's always good that you can't see it coming. And honestly, there were just so many secrets and stuff. And this was good stuff. I'd never heard of it until I went in Barnes & Noble's and saw it. So I am happy that I read this book, and know that this is gonna have a second book, and Iris and Alice are solving another murder mystery or something like that. So I want to check that out. There we have it, reading for 24 hours. Still had some time left on the clock, but I've done a lot. I read 11 books. That is a new record for me for reading for 24 hours. It's 1:55. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready to go to sleep and peace out. But it was fun. It was fun to do, and it helped me knock a couple books down so I could get to my goal of 200 for this year, 200 books read this year. So I will see y'all when I see y'all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button down below. Peace and blessings, my loves.